Okay. All right. Cool. Let's see here. So we got a lot to get through here, material wise. But want to make sure that we're kind of focusing on all of the key stuff that you guys need to see and cover. Besides you, is there anybody else that would be involved at any point during this process?
It mainly me right now, and then
Okay.
future hires, I'm sure.
Got it. Got it. Salespeople.
Right.
Okay, but you don't have like any kind of like marketing team or anything like that that you would be.
No, I mean
Okay.
we do, but we kind of turned off marketing. But
Okay.
we do have like our go-to that we use, but they're not being utilized at the moment.
Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. And sorry for all the questions. Just trying to get my head around the situation here, just so I can get a better idea of what all you would, I guess, most need to see within the tool. Last question here is, um, I guess. Oh man, I've completely lost my train of thought. Uh, Maybe it'll come back to me. Oh yeah, yeah. Are there any other tools that you guys have looked at already or considering?
As far as like DMS or CRMs,
Correct. Yep.
yeah, AutoMasters.
Automasters?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I've never heard of Automasters. Did you already look at Automasters?
Um, like personally, yes. They actually came. They're familiar with AutoMasters has worked with BuyRider. They're big on their, I guess, on their buy here, pay here side. They've also been known to help get BuyRiders off of their system and into, or off of the BuyRider system and into an AutoMaster system.
Okay.
Uh, it's just one of the. We actually had uh, not a deep conversation with them. I actually don't even know what their system looks like, haven't gone through a demo or anything like that. So
Okay.
it's not a lot of information I know about them, other than just I know that they're familiar with our, I guess, very familiar with our system anyway.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just taking a look at their website right now. I'd never heard of them before, which is funny. I've been here for 10 years. Looks like they're mainly just buy here, pay here type
Yeah,
system. Okay.
which is kind of why the reason why they probably were one of our first ones to go to,
Okay.
but that it was in a different scenario as to why we even would want to consider them. But eh, and then I started talking to other people that I was friends with that I was like, hey, what system are you using? What system are you using? And of course, tons of names come up, but Dealer Socket was one that stuck out to me,
Okay.
only because of one RNL, and then also I think I learned today was one was Tricolor,
Yeah. 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 We've got.
in which Tricolor runs one of our properties that we own.
Oh, okay. Got it. So you do some business with them?
Well, I mean they rent from us,
Okay.
but other and then Tricolor's been one of the large location on Bandera. They're actually our neighbor. So can you give it to Joaquin? Yes. Thanks. But other than that, we're not like besties or anything.
Okay. All right. All right. Got it. Got it. Yeah, so just like a little bit of background on, I guess, Dealer Socket and besides Tricolor and your friends at the other store. Um, we're in 10,000 or so dealerships across the US. We're probably one of the largest automotive software companies in the space. And now with Solera, we've got kind of the whole gamut of tools, a DMS tool, CRM, Dealer Socket is used by companies like Penske, Berkshire Hathaway, with like hundreds of rooftops, all the way down to, dealers that are going to be kind of your size, selling 30, 40 cars a month. So definitely in a lot of stores across the US as far as CRM is concerned. DealerFire has a couple thousand customers, website customers. Inventory Plus is the inventory acquisition tool used by all the AutoNation stores. So, we're definitely not, I guess, a mom and pop operation. We're in a ton of stores, but happy to walk you through what our tools look like, how they can help you achieve your business goals. And I guess kind of starting off, we're going to have clean slate. We've got won't have sold a car before, so you don't necessarily have any customer data. So I would assume like the first main priority is getting customers into this new showroom and getting leads and making sure leads are followed up upon and you guys have metrics on those, right?
Right.
Okay, got it. So if it's okay with you, it fine if we kind of start there in customer acquisition.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into that. So we're gonna go ahead and share a couple screens here. I'm just gonna pull up a couple of example websites. So on the dealer fire side, our website platform, very configurable. I'll pull up a few different dealers here just to give you an idea of some of the capabilities of the tool. This is one of our themes. It's just a website that we designed kind of mimic the Carvana style and look that people were kind of asking for. And then here's a couple of live dealers. We've got Harborough. These guys, really clean website. These guys are up in Massachusetts. And one of the things that I really love about this website is, it's a great looking website. But if you like Google their address, they're like in an old Long John Silver's. So you don't necessarily have to have the greatest of, showrooms to have a really good online presence. They do the 30-day satisfaction buyback promise, love it or leave it guarantee. So just a bunch of different things that you can merchandise on your vehicles. They even do, I can't remember what it is, in-home delivery or things like that. They're doing a lot of different things. Speaking of which, this is the first time I've heard you have to have a 1 month, 1,000 mile warranty in Texas. So if you guys want to have that on your website, like these guys we can. If you guys want to get into the buy here, pay here space, we can help you facilitate that. Ultimately, you're in control of what the website kind of looks like. We've got tons of different options as far as what it looks like, but our designers will work with you to customize the look and feel of the website. Beyond that, it's super fast and clean on a mobile device. Especially in the buy here, pay here world, you're probably 80% or more mobile traffic. So we want it to load fast. We want customers to be able to find a car quickly. So if they're in here, they're looking for SUVs, they can be off there, one click, looking at vehicles, looking at photos, looking at prices. We can jump into filters and say, okay, I only want a white car, a black car would melt in the Texas sun. And maybe I want white with, third row or, um, certain body style, right? So very easy to find what you're looking for on the website. It loads very quickly. Once we found a vehicle that we're looking for, very easy to convert. There's tons of different ways that we can convert, whether it's something like, get approved is primarily what you're going for on the buy here, pay here side. On the retail side, you might want a little bit more flexibility, whether it's scheduling a test drive. I'll pull up another one. These guys probably do a little bit more because they're more on the luxury side. But we jump in, we look at this R8, we can schedule a test drive, apply for financing, schedule at home delivery, share this with a friend, text it to them, whatever we need to do. So a lot of different things that we can work in there as far as call to action. One of the coolest things about having kind of our website system and having our in-store system and like the CRM is if someone's on here, they schedule that test drive is going to be created and added into your opportunity. Same thing if they fill out a credit app, that's going to be added and created inside of the customer profile here. So you jump into the CRM, you're going to follow up with somebody that had, maybe submitted a lead on the website or, scheduled a test drive. That's going to come in here. You're going to have that appointment scheduled because they scheduled it online. It's going to be scheduled inside the CRM. Now,
Okay.
that's going to help you inside the store with efficiency because what happens at most stores is someone's online, they schedule a test drive, and then that sends like a lead into the CRM. And then Matt gets the lead, and then Matt has to go in and read the notes and hopefully see that customers requested a test drive for Saturday at 9 a.m. So then Matt would have to go in and say, Saturday at 9 a.m., okay, this customer's coming in for a test drive, and then do it all over here again. With our system, we're trying to make this kind of a seamless flow online to in-store. So they schedule that test drive online. That appointment's already test scheduled inside the CRM, and the CRM would send them any kind of text message confirmation. So day of reminder or night before confirmation, hey, just wanting to confirm, reply yes to automatically confirm your appointment for tomorrow. Boom, that would show on your morning appointment confirmation list when you pulled that in the morning as a manager, things like that. Same thing, we could have a text message template already ready to go to send out, hey Matt, just a reminder, your appointment coming up here at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Here's Google Map location to our showroom. We'll have that car pulled up and ready for you to test drive, right? So try to help build on that experience the customers come to expect when they schedule that test drive, rather than them showing up, the appointment hasn't been scheduled in the system, the car's dirty, doesn't have any gas, we're starting all over when they arrive there. So that's one cool thing of kind of how those systems integrate. But before I kind of go any further, any questions there on website?
Nope, you're good.
Okay. So other things also going to come through, things like credit. There's a few different ways that we can do credit. If you want to pull credit inside of our system, you can absolutely do that. We have a partnership with a credit agency called CBC where you can run soft pull credit reports right inside here. Pull, TransUnion, Equifax, whatever report you want to do right inside our CRM and pre-qualify there. Or if someone had filled out a credit app on the website, you could push that off to a Route One or a Dealertrack if you're working with several different banks for financing. So pretty flexible on how you can set that up within our system, just depending on what you guys want to do moving forward.
Okay.
Once we get into our deal here, so this is over inside the CRM. First off, at the top, you've got your lead tracking information. So starting off as a business, you're going to need to optimize every marketing dollar you have to drive revenue into the dealership. So it's super important to understand where our opportunities are coming from. So we've got all of this tracking information right here. Now, if we zoom out of one individual lead and we jump over to, let's say, like a manager view dashboard, and I've got here on this manager view dashboard the internet ROI report. So if I go to pull this and run this for the last 6 months here inside my fake dealership, this is going to show me all of the lead sources that we've had come into the system. So we can see here we've got 3 new internet form completions from cars.com, 10 from Auto Trader, a handful here from our website, and then we can monitor the performance of those. So here's our leads. We got a certain number of phone calls from these sources as well for a total new leads in this column. Then we set 9 appointments on those 14 leads. So we have an appointment to lead percentage of 64. We had 4 show, so 40% show rate. We had 1 sell. And then if we have DMS connected back, we can track, beginning to end. So we'll see, okay, well, we sold that vehicle. We made $1,700 front end gross, $595 back end gross for a total gross of $2,300. In this case, someone's plugged in a vendor cost of $21,000, cost per lead of 1,500, cost per sold of 21,000. That one, of course, doesn't make any sense at all. We're spending 21,000 to sell, a gross profit of $2,300. So maybe not the best choice of our money, but regardless, a report like this, being able to track everything, will allow you to make those financial decisions where you guys are spending money, where all your leads are coming from, what your top performing lead sources are as you move forward and kind of, investing in different options. But yeah, we can jump back into an opportunity here. So definitely lead source tracking information up here, super important. So we know where our opportunities are coming from and we can invest in, the right performing sources. Down below that, we've got customer information here. You can see I've scanned my driver's license into the system using the mobile app. You can just pop a picture of it. It's great because that'll be stored inside the system. If later on my bank needs a copy of that, I could just jump in here, print it off. It'll also attach, that photo there to their name files. So some name, the face recognition for you, automatically capture things like their driver's license number, date of birth. So things like birthday reminders become super easy and automated there for you. We're also going to connect any kind of customer loyalty here. So if you do get into service later on, we can add that later. We also keep track of any purchase records inside of the dealership. So if I jump back to the full profile, you'll see here this customer's previously bought a vehicle before. We had another lead on a unit, but we lost that deal, and now they're interested in yet another vehicle. So those are three different opportunities. This one's sold. If I jump into this sold deal, I've got all of that deal history. So exactly, did they buy an extended warranty? Did they buy, gap insurance, any of that from their previous deal structure? We've got all of this data in here. Now, the reason that I'm showing you this is because we can use any of that data within the customer profile to change how we communicate with the customer. So, for instance, we've got 30 people last month that submitted a, trade-in form on our website, right? They were interested in getting trade-in valuation on our vehicle, right? We can go and say, hey, obviously we want to take that list. We want to filter out anybody that bought a vehicle. So we only want people that are in sold status that had submitted a trade. And, next month we want to create a process to where, we'll send them, some sort of mailer, text message. Hey, we'd really love your trade-in appraisal, anything like that. We can kind of customize any kind of messaging at scale and automate that, all because we have the data in here. So dealer sockets essentially built off of conditional if-then statements. So we can create processes or customize processes inside of your dealership based on any of the data points that we have. So for example, someone goes to your website and submits a lead on a, diesel truck that you guys have, right? We can have a customized diesel truck, follow-up process. If they go to, Auto Trader and they submitted a credit app on Auto Trader, you might want to treat that lead differently based on they started with a credit app versus someone that started with a diesel truck, right? So every customer potentially has kind of different messaging, different text messages that you might want to send out. And so DealerSock is really your hub of all of this, all of your communications. So we can customize to the individual, but we can also help you manage your people. So we're here in an opportunity. I can jump in, call, email, text message that customer, but ultimately every customer is going to have a work plan baked into the system. So as an individual contributor or individual salesperson, all I have to really do is focus on my to-do list here for the day. The system's going to take care of most of the communication, because if someone didn't show up for their appointment yesterday and we did reschedule, right, we can automatically text or email them and say, hey, you didn't show up for your appointment yesterday. Would you like to reschedule? What time works best for you? And they would respond, and we would go for that. So a lot of that can be automated, but the only thing we can't really automate here is going to be the phone calls. So that's where this comes in. The emails, all that stuff here. So we'll go in, we'll make our outbound phone call here. Right here, I'm due for Darren Granger phone call. All I have to do is jump in here. I can see Darren was a lead from Auto Trader. He was interested in a Blazer. He had a Tacoma on trade. I click this button right here. My phone rings. Spoke to customer, left message, whatever happened, hit save, and boom, I'm on to the next customer. So as far as kind of daily processes for individual, it's very simple, very easy for them to go in and complete their tasks. They can do it on the mobile app too as well. Very similar process. But as far as business level control, you have that within our processes. So this is where we create our processes. We can jump in here and say, okay, if it's inbound lead, I want you to follow up with them for 90 days after we get a lead. If it's, in this case, it's a 1 year anniversary. We've got a 1 year anniversary text message automatically going out at 8 a.m. Hey, Mr. Customer, can you believe it's been a year since you bought a vehicle? Then we've got a 1 year anniversary phone call, a 1 year anniversary letter, all of these different processes, again, that'll be completely automated for you guys. And just like everything else, this is all reportable. So if I jump into our manager level dashboard here and I jump in and add a report here, we'll go into general reports and we'll add our campaign ROI report. And I'll go in and pull this report for the last few months. And this is going to show me exactly, what's going on with any one of these processes. So here, refresh report, things like our, let's say this was, appointment, unshowed appointment follow-up process. We had 14 people didn't show for our unsold appointment follow-up process. In the past 1 to 30 days, we had 2 of them close. 31 and 90 days, we had 1 close. 91 to 180 days, we didn't have any. We closed a total of 3. Our close rate was 21%. We grossed $4,100 on that each of those average. So a total of $20,000 or $12,000 on our on that particular process. So again, everything inside of DealerSocket ties back to how much money did this particular process generate? How much money did this employee generate? What is our closing rate on these opportunities? So you guys can really measure what's working and what's not working. I know it's there's a lot to squeeze into an hour or so demo, but are we covering the right material, or is there other things that you're kind of hoping to see here?
No, yeah, this is great.
Okay.
How does it compare to the Discovery that you're used to using?
Well, I actually like to see that process deal, because Discover has a similar for its leads. Like for example, they call them tracks, but basically it's when a lead comes in, it starts in on a track, and then that track goes until it hits its final track. But it's like it's working in the background. So after, for example, a lead comes in, it's known as a hot lead, or it's in the hot track. So after so many attempts, from the sales reps, it'll then go into a different track after that. So the only way it comes out of that track is if you've made contact, you did an application, whatever. So if you did an application, it puts it into another track, and that's like either approved, not sold, or rejected, or whatever the case may be. But something contact or some type of action has to happen for it to come out of that track that it's on. And it's kind of cool to see that you guys have something very similar, which is just named differently, but it follows that lead throughout a process.
Yep. So let's say we jump in here. I'm going to manually move Darren back to unqualified. So again, let's say it's just a inbound internet lead, right? So it's in our, in your terminology, this track, right? We're in our fresh lead from the internet, right? Follow-up process, our designated 30, 60, or 90, or however long plan it is to automatically follow up with this customer because it's an unqualified lead. Now, I go to log a phone call here, phone call, click the number, ring, 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 outbound. Now, if I say spoke with the customer here and hit save, it's going to automatically move that customer and contacted. So that could move them into our now contacted track, right? Based on, we spoke to that customer. We're not going to message saying, hey, we'd love to talk to you because I just got off the phone with you, right? Same thing. Okay, the customer has now visited the store and demoed a vehicle. Boom, save. Customer is now in demo status. So we probably email or message them, hey, thank you for visiting our showroom, kind of things like that, all the way up until, sold, or worst case scenario, close lost, right? Bought elsewhere. Okay, perfect. What dealership did you buy from? Maybe I can follow up with you in 3 to 5 years. You'll be ready for your next car. Or, maybe your credit's too bad, can't work with you. We want to send you tips on how to improve your credit so that we can work with you in the future, or send you to our buy here, pay here dealership, in your case, or trade value. We're off by $1,500 on their trade-in value. So this is all great stuff as well, because let's say we're rolling into, the last 5 days of the month, and, we're at 29. We want to get to 30, 35 cars this month, right? I could always pull a list of say, hey, I want to find all my deals we close lost because of trade-in value. Maybe I can put another 500, 600, 700, $800 in their trade and get a deal together.
Cool.
So anything that we didn't cover on the CRM side that you feel like you're used to using now, or would be really impactful to you kind of as you're moving towards this new business?
No, no, I like that setup.
Okay. How are you guys doing appraisals right now?
We typically, well, I mean, in our world, we don't, appraisals aren't what you would consider an appraisal. So, I mean, if it's more than $1,000, I'm probably telling them I don't want it. We're not going to pay to, like, if somebody walks in the door and they're like, hey, I have well, if it's got a loan on it, it's not a trade that we're going to take either. But if it's paid off and it's, got 50,000 miles on it and it's a 2021, I don't know that I could, in our world, as far as just liquidity of cash, pay that. Or, and then the other side is they could probably get a better deal somewhere else anyway. So ours are pretty much coming in on maybe 3 tires, and I'm saying, all right, I'll give you $500 for it.
Got it.
And that's ours.
So you guys don't really like do trade-ins really that much, I guess. In the new,
We'll take metal. That's our trade, but
got it.
that's about it.
Okay.
Not in the trade in the way that you I guess the way that this would be devised.
Got it. In the new store, have you thought about like what kind of like price range of vehicles you guys are going to stock?
We have. I'm thinking, we're anywhere like 10,000 to 20,000 probably
Okay, got it.
in that
You're
range.
not going to be having like a Chevy Suburban or like, for like, 30, $40,000.
No,
Right? No.
I'm thinking. I mean, you probably have like a couple of, like, your Highline stuff, which is maybe around the 25, 30,000.
Okay.
That sits and just brings traffic, and then you'll have the majority of your cars that are more than that 10 to 20. That, people will come in for what the eye candy, and then you switch them over to something, a little bit better.
Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. So even when you get to that, 20, 30,000, you're probably not going to be getting a $20,000, $30,000 vehicle in on trade, right? You're
Right.
probably going to be getting more of your 3 to 4, 5 grand, maybe kind of trade in vehicles. If you, let's say you got, here, let's see if we can find a piece of inventory. See if these guys have anything under that price point, just as an example. Okay. Let's say we've got this, uh, 08 Jeep Wrangler here for, 12 grand, right? Something like this. Someone comes in and trade in there, I don't know, Ford Escape worth like 3 or 4 grand. What would you do? What would you do with that Ford Escape? Would you just send it straight to the auction, or would you keep it, recondition it, try to sell it, or
I mean, I guess if it's worth retailing, then retail it. If not, then probably turn it and send to auction. But I would say in most cases, the trade-ins that would come in would be retailable either with us or send it to the buy here, pay here lot.
Got it. Okay. So a couple different ways that we can help with that particular piece. So in here in the trade portion, and you can also scan the VIN inside the mobile app and put that into the trade. Here, you've got the trade-in appraisal. So in order to kind of work towards getting a proposal together, we need, of course, what vehicle they're purchasing, if they've got a trade, if there's a payoff, all of that good stuff. Eventually, we're gonna have to pull their credit if we're gonna get them approved on a deal, and we can jump through that workflow. But here on the trade, we got to put numbers on this. So we can do this a couple different ways. As you can see here, we could just put like some book values. If you guys don't think there's going to be, if you guys don't think you're going to have like a lot of trades in this particular side of the business and you just want something to, if you did get a trade, we want to put a number on that. We can just put like book values in here. So you've got like a JD Power or a KBB or some sort of number to just throw a number on that vehicle. Do you need a minute?
No, you're good.
Okay. So this would just be like a simple, easy way to like just see some book values, put a number on a vehicle if you needed to. Now, if you guys are jumping into kind of deeper level appraisals, we can go push trade, push to inventory plus, and hit push. And then that would go into our appraisal system over here inside of our inventory manager. Now, what you're looking at here, we'll have our vehicle in here from our appraisal. Based on our conversation, you're probably not going to get a 2020 Tacoma in on trade, based on the inventory that you're going to have right now. But, depending on what it is, you'd have your vehicle scanned in here. This chart on the left is going to show you all of the vehicles like that vehicle listed for sale online right now. So, let's say hypothetically, I'm looking at an 06 Ford Escape with 120,000 miles on it. First thing I want to know is how many of those are within a certain radius of my dealership. So I can just jump in here and say, all right, within 50 miles, within 100 miles, within however many miles, there's, this cluster of Ford Escapes out there. So if I were to trade for this vehicle right now and buy this, I'm going to need to put a set of tires on it. I'm going to need to do this, that, whatever. So I'm going to plug in my reconditioning costs here. So I'm going to put 2 grand into this thing. Then once I put that 2 grand into it, I'm also going to want to sell it. So if there's one listed with less miles for, 9,000, I'm not going to sell it for, 15,000 if they can go buy one with less miles for less money, right? And so I can go in and look at this cluster and see, okay, this green line is what we call price to target. So my target price on this vehicle, 100% target price would be 38,303. based on the miles. This one has 27,000 miles. It'll fall right here in the middle of this green line in the middle of this cluster for 38,303. So that would be my exit strategy on this vehicle. If I were to compare this to all the vehicles listed online and be, competitive, I would be at 38,303 based on the vehicles listed online today. Then, if I want to make, $7,300, or, I could say I only care about, $5,000, right? I can start using these numbers to work back in, okay, what would I list it for? How much do I need to put into reconditioning? Then what can I put in on an appraisal value on this vehicle? So just doing backwards math. At worst case, we've got, in this case, Manheim Market Report, adjusted MMR is, 33 grand. I could send this vehicle straight to auction and make money. So anytime we're going to perform an appraisal on a vehicle inside of our system, we want an exit strategy from that second that we make that appraisal. So first line of defense is, ultimately turn around selling it on my own. Next step for you, you could send it to your buy here, pay here, or worst case, we send it over to MMR, we make a little bit of money. So that's what Inventory Plus is for. This is going to help you make decisions on appraisals, appraisal values. This is also going to help you manage your inventory. You can take photos, upload your photos into here. This will also tell you where your vehicles are priced. So as we were looking at that kind of pricing number here, if I want to automatically have my vehicles start dropping, so let's say we have this vehicle at 100% to target for the first 15 days. If it doesn't sell, it doesn't buy it, I'm not getting a lot of leads, we can start rolling that down. We say we drop it $1,000 every 10 days until, we get to day 90, and then we send it straight to auction or something like that. That's kind of what this system would do. This system would also help you understand, you can bulk price, you can go in here and discount a bunch of vehicles at once. This will also write all of your descriptions. So if we jump in here into an individual vehicle, here we'll just pick this one. Based on the VIN number, this is going to create all of our descriptions for our website. So any kind of little blurb about what this vehicle is. We have an AI generator in here. This will also pull in all of our vehicle equipment. So any kind of standard attributes or add-on things that this vehicle came with from the OEM, plug-in charger, remote access. This has all of that information built into it, and that will push it over to our website so that when someone's looking at this, they can see all the standard equipment, any kind of add-on equipment this vehicle had, those photos, that description, all be ready. And then this tool will also syndicate. So if we want to push this vehicle out to any kind of third-party partners, a Cars.com, an Auto Trader, anything like that, we would do that here from our inventory management system. Any questions there on managing inventory?
No, that's pretty cool.
Okay. I know you guys don't have anything like this because you're not getting any kind of trades, but can you see how this would be, I guess, valuable to your store moving forward? Or do you think you guys would more just want kind of book values, or what makes the most sense, you think, right now?
No, I can see the value as, that basically replaces the need for having like a buyer or an appraiser. It's all system driven.
Yep. Essentially a manager could be just sitting at the desk. One quick look at this report, you could punch in a number. The data here kind of shows you and helps you make those decisions. Yeah. And like you were saying, we've got groups like an AutoNation, right? They've got a centralized appraisal team. So anytime any one of their 200 locations takes an appraisal, their sales rep goes in, scans the vehicle, pushes that appraisal, it comes into their centralized appraisal tower, and they've got someone there all day just looking at this numbers and putting a number on it, right? So as you guys thinking about growing and moving, you guys can make data-driven decisions on, you know, how you want to be in the vehicles, because the last thing you want to do is have a vehicle and, you know, 30, 60, 90 days from now, you can't sell it. And in the meantime, it's lost value while it's sitting on your lot.
That's cool.
So, so we kind of touched on a little bit on the website, CRM, inventory, appraisal. I guess anything else that you were kind of hoping to see during our call today?
I guess lastly is like, so you take let's say we source vehicles from auction, right? And I go out and bought a vehicle. How does that come in to the system to kind of track it and be like, okay, this vehicle's in there. Now let's start looking at it, I guess.
Yep.
Does that make
Perfect.
let's start pricing it.
We'll go ahead and walk through that process. So we're also here in Inventory Plus. So what we're looking at here is what's called the buy sell list. So one of the data points that we have inside this tool is we're going to have in your sold data. So what you, when you sell a vehicle, right? Let's say you go to the auction tomorrow and you buy a, you know, a Nissan Frontier, right? You sell it. You sold that vehicle, you made, you know, $3,000. It took you 10 days to sell it. So you made $300 profit per day on that vehicle. So we've got all of that data here inside the system. And so as you start to, as the system gets more data points, it's going to get smarter, and we're going to be able to provide you recommendations on what to buy when you start going to the auction. So in this list here, we've got what we call profit per day. So how many, you know, how much money divided by how long it took to sell it here. So we can see our most profitable vehicles here. This also shows us how many of these we have in stock, how many we turn in, you know, our typical sales volume. So this will let us know, hey, do we have enough in stock to cover what we typically sell? Do we need more? Just like a grocery store, right? Like, do we need to get more peaches? Are we selling out of peaches every day, right? This is kind of the same thing for inventory. So this will give you, eventually get you a list of recommended vehicles to stock based on what's most profitable and what turns the quickest for your dealership. Then we take this list, we jump into wholesale, and we can go into auctions and see, okay, at this auction, we're looking for those, you know, top vehicles that are most profitable for us. Then we can save those vehicles. We can have those over on our appraisal list. And then we're back to here, just where we was. Okay, how much do I want to be in this vehicle for from the auction? So our strategy here within the tool is you're doing your homework ahead of time. Within our tool, we're looking at the data to know, okay, I want to buy, you know, 3 Frontiers. I want to buy this. I want to buy that, whatever. And then when they're running through the lane, I can go up to about this amount of money because there's, you know, they're selling for this, they're listed for this online, right? So you're making those smart decisions before you go to the auction. Now, day of the auction, we've got our shopping list. We're ready to go. I know what cars I'm going to bid on, and that's all going to be right inside here. And then as soon as you complete that bid, you buy that vehicle, you hit add to inventory, and now that moves into your inventory and stock. And we can even go ahead and get that description, get it posted online. Maybe we don't have photos yet, that's fine, but we've at least got it listed online. It's in transit. We can start getting leads on our website.
And from there to the website, is that instantaneous or 15 minutes or overnight?
Yeah, it's roughly like every 15 to 30 minutes. But we could start getting leads, and then as soon as we actually get it from the auction to our dealership, we can get it through, get the reconditioning done. We can get get it cleaned up, and then we'll snap some photos. We get it up on the website. And in the meantime, we could have something, up on the website that just says, photos coming soon or something like that, or even stock photos of the vehicle. And then as soon as you take the actual photos, those would replace it.
All right, good stuff.
Perfect. Is that kind of what you're hoping for as far as auction?
Yes.
Okay. Sweet. Well, it sounds like my job's done for now. I'm sure you'll probably have tons of questions. That if you're like me, you'll be awake at midnight tonight and think of something that you should have asked. Just write them all down, get them over. We'll be sure to get them answered for you, or we can do another one of these calls. And then, yeah, if you were to, let's say, decide to hire another sales manager or something and that you need to get them signed off on this, be happy to walk through it again with them.
Okay, perfect.
I'll go ahead and turn it over to Brittany and TJ to kind of set next steps and kind of get the proposal together for you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Zach.
Yep.
Thanks, Zach.
All right, Matt. So I know that you're still awaiting you want to look at the DMS as well. I believe that was tomorrow, right, Brittany, or is that not until Monday? You're on mute.
Yeah, IDMS was booked out. I know I told you in the text message they book really quickly. Can you do Tuesday morning?
What time do you got?
So I have I had it up. Hold on. So I have Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Central, 11. I have 30-minute intervals until 1:30. So anywhere from 10:30 to 1:30, and I'll schedule it immediately before it books up again.
Let's see, I have a 10:30. Can we do either 11:30 or 12?
We can do you want to have a little break in between? We could do 12 o'clock.
I don't mind.
Okay. So 12 o'clock?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. All right. Let me just double check something else real quick, just in case. Okay. Yeah, that works.
Perfect.
Okay, I'll send
Yeah, 'cause-
over the email invite, and I'll
Okay.
start building the proposal. Do you want me to put the CBC soft pull integration or soft pull package on there?
Yes, that'd be helpful.
Okay. Okay. And driver's license scanner or texting. Those are some of the notes I took down to add to the quote as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Good with that.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right,
and then
I will.
we'll,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
so we'll look at the DMS on Tuesday, and then if you have any questions between now and then, let us know, and that we can keep working, and we'll just keep in contact.
Yeah, for sure.
So it seems like you like everything so far.
Yeah, it looks really good.
What you've seen.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, sweet. I'm glad you liked it. I know it's kind of a lot that we've kind of pulled you in, but it's like you can either do it with like a bunch of different companies or all under one company. So I think it's cool. That's one thing I like about Solera is like literally like you deal with one vendor, right? You're not having to go to a million different people to get the one solution that you need.
Well, it's funny. Our CFO had reached out to AutoNation the other day, and the meeting that I was in prior to meeting with you all this morning, he had mentioned that he was talking about it, and then it wasn't until I was on the call with y'all, and he goes, and we were talking, and he heard Dealer Socket, and he goes, "That's who AutoNation said." But he was on the other side of the camera, obviously. And so then obviously we talked more about AutoNation today. So we are out there talking to these places, and it just seems like Dealer Socket keeps coming up. So that's a positive.
For sure. Well, that's good. Well, so yeah, we'll talk next week, and then I'll probably text you and see about me and Brittany coming down to San Antonio. I've been wanting to go out to the Riverwalk anyways, so make a good excuse, make the company pay for me to go down there.
There you go.
But yeah, we'll be in contact, and then we'll work something out. And yeah, again, any questions, let me know. And yeah, your time back. We spent a lot of time together today.
Right. No, I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys taking the time to show us all this.
Yep. All right. Have a
right.
good one.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey. Oh.